I'm going to point out today 5 things that I hate. I really hate about this car. Hi again, everybody. Today we're here. We're going to talk about 5 of the things I really don't like about the SRT8 Challenger. So, number 1, here we go, is the interior is a little bit cheap, slightly unsightly. There's some nice touches that they've added to the SRT package. You've got some nicer leather seats with, looks like velour or maybe a runoff of Alcantara. You know, there's some nice parts in here, but you still can't totally hide all of the cheap plastic and the rubberized steering wheel and all those other pieces and bits that go with it. Yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand with the American cars. That just kind of takes you back to the 60s. That's kind of how they were, and I guess that's the point of it. But when you drive a lot of modern day sporty cars or supercars, you do feel like you're kind of slumming it. You may be sliding back down, pushing that shopping cart downtown, picking bottles. So anyway, that's my take on that. Second thing that I really don't like about these cars is they're rather large and girthy. Now, that in itself is nice on the highway, and it's actually okay when you're out on the regular roads. But if you have to park in a tight parking spot, I found it, you have to do multiple little turns to get into a spot. It's quite large, it's quite girthy, and you know, that does play against it, I feel anyway, slightly less maneuverable. So, another thing that I really I can't stand about the car, and I gotta say, there's a good and there's a flip side to this too. The one side is, of course, the things that I like about the car, which I featured in another video, and that is the nostalgia of this vehicle. The flip side, of course, is because of the type of car that it is, I feel like I need a mullet. You'll notice there's no mullet back here. I don't have one. I don't plan on growing one anytime soon. But because I'm driving this car, I really feel like that would fit the character of this machine. So I think I might need to try to grow a mullet if I were to keep a car like this. But that's my feel on that. Now, the other thing that I really kind of find a little bit maybe picky, but kind of annoying on this car, is because, yes, there's no doubt about it, it's an American-made car, built in the United States of America, with American-made workers, and you know what, hats off to those people. They do great things, and you know what, let's keep it rolling, keep pumping out great cars. But I will say, with that is the speedometer that they calibrate. It's in miles per hour. Now, I'm driving in Canada, and it's a Canadian car, so it does have the dual speeds on the speedometer. It has miles per hour and it has kilometers an hour, but if you look at the hash marks, it's quite obviously calibrated for miles per hour. When you're looking for those intermediate speeds, yeah, you have the 0, 30, 60, 90, 120 in Canada, but you're kind of looking and thinking and estimating, interpolating, if you will, what the kilometers actually are in between those. I can't find 50 kilometers an hour because there's no even hash mark there. Yes, it's calibrated for American miles per hour, not in Canadian. So you're always kind of guessing a little bit. I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day too much, but that's, you know, with all the photo radar they have these days in Canada here, you find yourself a little extra paranoid trying to follow that speed. Yeah, we could drive like Miss Daisy, but I'd rather just keep it closer to that limit. So anyway, that's another issue I have with this particular car. So, and lastly, and you know, I don't know, I guess there's a lot of cars that fall subject to this particular issue, and that's scuttle shake. It's not a convertible, no, but woohoo! Sorry about that. I had to get around Miss Daisy there. But the thing is, the issues that I've seen, you hit some bumps, there are some rattles and shakes. Not excessively. I wouldn't say it's a lumber wagon, but you know, for a newer car with low kilometers on it, you know, I've noticed a bunch of squeaks and some kind of bumps, and I don't know if we're talking about bushings or squeaks and rattles or what the issues are. Not excessive, but I've noticed some squeaks and rattles on a car with a really low kilometers. So that's the only thing that I have to note on that. I don't know if that's something you'd expect would get a lot worse with time, or if that's just part of the car, because it's not on a unibody. It's kind of a traditional frame, as it were, so that might be part of the contributing factor. Not a huge issue, but again, if I can summarize, folks, that is my list of the top 5 things that I really don't like about the Dodge Challenger SRT8. please comment if you don't agree, or maybe you do agree and you've got similar things to mention. Please comment. But with that, like I said, please share, subscribe, like, and yeah, we'll see you real soon. We'll give you more videos of the same kind of content, and yeah, join along for more. Thanks again. Bye bye.